Yeah. So, hi, I'm Andrea, and this is,
Aaron.
yeah. So, we're going to talk about hunger. So, first, I'm going to ask you some questions, okay? So, what is your perspective on hunger and food insecurity, and how did you acquire this perspective?
I think food insecurity is a very big problem all around the world. It is extremely difficult to find a solution, especially because different parts of the world have different resources and um, ways to combat this. And I have this perspective because I went to school in New Orleans where there's a lot of food insecurity and a lot of hunger. And we had to, part of our community service that we had to find ways to help food insecurity and kind of make ideas to like figure out how like a solution for this problem.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, which aspects of your cultural identity can you relate to this issue?
Hmm. Well, I think so because my dad is Cuban, and like the rise of communism in Cuba, there is a lot of hunger. And so I think part of my cultural identity being Cuban, I feel for it because my grandparents had to kind of experience the beginning of that. So, and just them seeing how much their country has declined and how much hunger and food insecurity has increased, it's kind of like a sore subject. So I kind of relate to it in that way.
Oh, okay. What is the impact of hunger on your life, on your personal life?
Um, I think it just gives me a different perspective and an appreciation for the things that I do have. And it also allows me to be grateful for everything that I have. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so what are the beliefs about the issue in your peer group, family, and community?
Um, I think it's very similar to mine. Um, I think everyone like in my social circle kind of feels the same way in terms of the gratitude that we feel for everything that we have, and also the desire to help this issue and want to um, learn more and see how we can all like work together to fix this issue.
Okay. And like, how do you think that your the groups acquire this perspective and beliefs?
I think just by experience and um, like being around it and seeing how much it impacts our home and seeing how much it impacts the people around us. So yeah, just experience.
Okay. So so how do you think that hunger is present in Mexico?
Um, I don't know. I think it's similar to in a lot of different countries that it's a big problem because there's a lack of knowledge about how to fix the problem. Um, and since I don't live in Mexico, I don't know like the day to day, but I think the issue as a whole, like the general issue, is the same everywhere. That it is a big issue and no one really knows how to fix it. And so that's why it like becomes even a bigger issue.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a cultural expression that it's of Mexico, and it's about a contest, a photographic contest that's called México sin hambre. And this was made to, like, the objective of this was to document the situation of extreme poverty and food deficiency in Mexico, and like as a participation and social meaning in the photographs. um Let me share the screen. So mm, so first I'm going to tell you, like, which photographs I think, well, what photograph I think that it's really that impact me the most, and it's this one. I think, like, what something that it's really important to live, is to be well and, like, be like have a good, be healthy, that's it. And I think, like, this thing represents, like, the black and white color represents, like, how he's living. Part of his life is colorless. I think that what gives color to life is, some part of it is food, and, like I said, being healthy, and he's not having that. And you can see with only the color and all the, like, the bottles here, and
Mm-hmm.
like all the trash and stuff. Now, like, I'm gonna ask you what you think, and if you want me to stop in one picture, just say so.
Okay. I think for me, not that one, but the next one.
This one.
No, the one under that. That one.
Mm-hmm.
I think like what you were saying, um, being healthy and like eating healthy gives not only like color, but it gives like kind of shine. It's like a a way for us to be like well all around.
Mm-hmm.
And aside from food, like also like being comfortable in like a living space and stuff like that. Um, that kind of all adds to like the wellness aspect. So like when I see this, it like makes me sad because it's kids who have to live like this and they don't have the resources that we have and they don't have the ability to um, kind of live how we like were raised and how we're used to. And
Mm-hmm.
so I like what you said about like the black and white and having like a colorless life because that's how I felt in this picture. And I don't know, I just think it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, and also I think, like, it's different to see these because I live in Mexico also, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not living this part, like this perspective and this way of life that you can see
Mm-hmm.
here. So
Mm-hmm.
you never know, like, when, like, how people live in their life. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Well, now I'm going to show you another example, but this is of the US actually. And it's about, like, they it's about America, and how, like, this three photographers went to these three states.
Mm-hmm.
So they, like, they took pictures and show, like, how it is, the food insecurity in each of those
Mm-hmm.
pictures, the places. So for me, it's because the US is, like, the richest place in the world. So it's, for me, it's, like, shocking to see, like, how it says here that 1/6 of
Mm-hmm.
Americans don't have enough food to eat. And, like, we can see the pictures if you like. also something that was that I found here is that they sometimes eat a lot of this how can I say, like this chips and soda and stuff that is
Like
not
junk food.
healthy. Yeah, so that
Mhm.
doesn't, like they can eat, but that doesn't nourish
Mhm.
them well. Here is the other one. Well, it's the same thing. So what do you think?
Well, I was gonna say exactly what you just said. Like, America is considered to be the richest country in the world, and it just goes to show how big of a problem it is all around the world. If like here, I think it says like 1 in 6 Americans don't have enough food to eat. So like if that's how it is here, it's like just 10 times worse everywhere else. And also like it's not only not having any food to eat, it's like also the unhealthiest foods are the cheapest foods.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you do have food to eat, you're not getting the nutrients that you need, and you're not fueling your body with the things that you should be. And so it's so hard to maintain like a healthy lifestyle on a budget, um because all of like all the processed foods, all of like the fast foods, all of the junk foods, they're so cheap and easily accessible. So it's like difficult to have like a well balanced diet, especially for kids, and especially like for like because they're growing. Like it stunts them because they don't have like access to all of like the nutrients and all the vitamins and all like the stuff that people need to grow.
Okay, yes. And like where you live, like in Miami, is there like how is that different in Miami from like Iowa and Texas and the Bronx?
I mean, I think it's the same. I think it depends on the area. Like the Bronx, for example, like if you go into like other parts of Manhattan, like you don't see these things. So it's the
Mhm.
same in Miami. Like if you go into like the wealthier parts of Miami, like you still see poverty, you still see hunger, but it's not to this extent. But I think it's interesting that like rural places like Iowa and even Texas, like they like how it says there, like the nation's richest lands. Like it's interesting that people still don't have food to eat, even though like they're growing it all. But I think in Miami, like it's it's more common in different areas, but I think it's like the same throughout the whole country. Like you see a McDonald's every on every corner. You know,
Mm,
you see like just junk food all around you. So and like the lines for the drive-through are like around the corner. So
yeah.
it's I think it depends on the area, um, like of the state that you're in. But yeah, I think it's just kind of the same everywhere. Obviously, like different states are different, but in the grand scheme of things, I think it's the same.
Okay. So now I'm going to show you another cultural expression, and this one is from here you can see
Mm-hmm.
from Colombia. So this artist, David de Maria, made like it's like went with a show which is called Show del Hambre. So like each like they buy tickets to empty the concert instead of like to occupy the space. It's and because it's a really large space, this would save millions of lives and of kids. He actually went to a trip to Colombia and saw like how undernourished the kids were, and he decided to do this and actually made a song called Agua that
Mm-hmm.
that says like he said something about wanting to be water so they could drink it. So I'm gonna show you a video of like what I explained, but here it's better because he explains it.
El sueño de todo artista es ver siempre llena la sala de sus conciertos. Primero, eres feliz con un pequeño grupo, pero lo que realmente deseas es que ni un alma quepa en un estadio. Por primera vez, y aunque suene contradictorio, voy a pedirte justo lo contrario. Voy a pedir que nadie vaya a este concierto. No queremos ver a gente esperando. No queremos que se agoten las pulseras. No queremos que se ocupen ni uno solo de los asientos. Porque desgraciadamente el que actúa ahora es el hambre y nadie debería ir a su concierto. Su gira mundial comienza en La Guajira, Colombia. He visto en estas tierras a niños desnutridos que padecen cada día la actuación del hambre. Niños que se van a la cama cada noche con el estómago vacío. No son 100 ni 300, son más de 570.000 niños menores de 5 años, tan pequeños como mi propio hijo. Si no lo paramos ahora, condicionaremos totalmente su futuro. Compra tu entrada y evita que el hambre pueda actuar.
Well, that's it. What do you think?
I think it's heartbreaking, first of all, that like, especially like when it comes to kids, and any of these things, I just like, my heart just breaks. But I think it's interesting. I mean, like a lot of times, like fundraisers like this, people get things in return. It's either like a concert, for example, like if you're paying to go to a concert, you expect to go see the concert, you know? So I think it's cool that it's like, and even more selfless than donating is in the first place, because like you're paying to not go. And so I like that it's doing something different, but also like still helping. I don't know. I love it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I thought that too when I saw it. It was like something really different, but like innovative. And so like now the conclusion, like, I don't know, after seeing all these different stuff that happened in the other countries, what do you think? Like, as a closure.
I think food insecurity and hunger is an issue that everyone like obviously knows about, but it's not something that is talked about that much. And so like talking about like the details and talking about like the specific groups of people that are involved kind of makes it more realistic. It's like kind of like you hear you know that poverty is a thing, you know that food insecurity is a thing, but then actually like studying it and talking about it makes it more real and like salient in your mind. So it kind of just promotes awareness, and it motivates you to do something about it, because like we were saying before, a lot of the reason why this is still an issue, it's because like there's not enough resources, there's not enough knowledge on how to fix it. So I think like talking about it and giving like actual examples of the people that suffer from this kind of makes it more of a real thing, instead of just like not imaginary, but like instead of just like an abstract like societal issue that we have.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you.